control themselves. You also have to take part in the retreat in some way while you're doing this. Set an example. Feel like how Bante came. You have to be like you came to this forest alone. Okay, you get your food and you get the teachings and you try. In the daytime, you can try to go walk a little bit, not too far. Be under a tree or a little more solitary. And come back. I should start. And for now, you can use, until the Chinese thing comes, the English one. Okay. One sister was here or who is coming from Delhi, who is going to bring the notes. The lady.
She will be on the way, Swami Mahansa.
She was here or she?
No, she was not here. She's going to be here, I think, today and tomorrow.
Bring some photocopy file, 5 copies. Yes, someone let it come. Yes.
She should be coming.
Maybe it's no, sir.
So now you know when you have some time, you can try the compassion meditation. Okay, for 1 hour only in the morning, but you have more to do. Now here you are going to master that analyzing and contemplation, which is the main key for attaining what you call sotapanna or whatever. All right, but here it's not also done very little. I'm giving you some idea only because 5 days I will be forcing you to read or just complete, even if you don't understand some of the things. This is how this retreat, because for 5 days is not enough for these things. One day if you want to come another 5 day or another 10 day, maybe we can only do that. That is the real way to contemplate and get the way how to, use the Yoniso Manasikara with the teaching. Alright? So you can do little bit and you find now Bante has told to finish the book today or then you will have to leave that and just read on. Okay? You can everybody understand that. So I told you today to finish or if really the thing tomorrow. Alright? If you get the Chinese one. And the walking, is everybody here now? Everybody, no? Okay. You have to use the English one and in the program I explained about also how to know the consciousness and your body. In the consciousness, you have these factors: body, feeling, perception, and reaction. Okay, these are the factors of consciousness. They are the building blocks of what consciousness is made up of. All right, you can't have consciousness without any of these single factor missing. When there's a moment of consciousness, these factors will be definitely there. Now I know, for example, most of you have done many retreats, some of you have done different retreats and so on. So what I see in the other retreats, they are all very much technique based. They give you quick results, no doubt, but whether it has the enough Yoniso Manasikara, it's a question in my own practice, in our own path. We were never exposed to retreat because we just directly met our teachers and our karma was like that. And later on, we were exposed, like my teacher was in one of the centers actually of Goenka. When he was recovering, the main chief organizer in Sri Lanka, it's called Bambalapitiye to those days. It's recorded, no? No, it doesn't matter. I don't want to make names, but he invited Bante. Those days, when he was recovering from certain illness, and he was kept there. So I remember so many used to come to meet him. So the 10-day retreat they have, almost everything, even in Burmese, doesn't matter. in the Burmese tradition also, those are the main meditation techniques that were brought or became popular in the society, and the human beings in this present time were exposed to. But making the Buddha's teaching the Kamatahana, these few monks, I would say, or maybe some lay people, happen to practice that way. And so this is the way I also got this thing. And so there are two separate ways how this Dhamma has come. One is technique based, one is sutta based. Okay. So this is very well explained by Vimalananda Bhante. Have you heard of him? He passed away. I was surprised how he analyzed everything about Visuddhimagga and everything. You must be familiar. He was from America. Have you heard of Vimalananda Bhante? I wish I could contact his group. Really, in America. He did a big service, big service of telling about this very clearly, about Visuddhimagga, about the techniques. So people should become aware just blindly your lifetime, You have one time. You must think this is like one life you have. And I hope, because I'm speaking, this might go out to whoever get in contact also. So you have to get this map properly and get the proper treasure. That means, what is Buddha? Actually, who is the historical Buddha? What is the real, what the exact teaching which is the Buddha's teaching? Not because it's from Sri Lanka, Burma or somewhere. Well, you must make honest, this thing you'll find there. And not only that, just knowing that won't do, how you must going to experience that. That's another aspect. So that you have to be a yogi, meditator, and then studying the suttas. Not in a university, with not controlling your senses, with lot of sexual, all sort of problems and mental disorders. But you can intellectually write something and do something. And then it will distort the very pure, what is the purpose of it will be lost. It should never be studied, or it should be studied with practice of your character and developing that. But that is not in the modern times. That's why I talk about all this no fap and all these things for lay people as well, for them to clear these things so that they will be suitable to realize this. It's not a big thing to realize, though this when they cut their hair also, they saw the truth. So I told you now go through so many, is to make your brain familiar. That's what my teacher also told me, to think that way. So that it will be just one word, one verse, this is it. While you are just walking to some of our yogis now who are ordaining, they are just walking and then suddenly, little bit, this is how it starts, this is how it happens. Doesn't mean they attain Sotapanna, but that's the direction. I can understand. So they have to be with this atmosphere, this more possibilities there. But when they get those glimpses, that's a big thing. It's like I told you, like you see the tail of the snake. That shock, and you get faith in the Buddha. You see the live Buddha, you see the real Buddha was Buddha. Not a physical form, your doubt loosens, and in the universal, from the universal truths, you begin to really know he's the Buddha. At least something. That Saddha is the very special Saddha. Seeing the Dhamma. That's why Buddha they said, who sees the Dhamma will see me, who sees me will see the Dhamma. Okay, your Dhammam Pasati, so Mam Pasati, so Mam Pasati, so Dhammam Pasati. It's funny, you all have already been doing this Sutta thing, long before also. All of you, I heard there's a group in Hong Kong also, and I don't know. But they might have been still studying it, I don't know, but they are on the right track. But now as a yogi, when they are trying to experience, that will be, I think, very easy. Don't try to go into too much samadhi. You have maybe accumulated. Here you must try to break all the stagnation you got also in samadhi. Because there could be stagnations in your meditation, blockages in your meditation, blockages in your life. All that should be, this is the thing should clear your whatever blockages through this ocean of wisdom. So that's the purpose of this. But that's why you are forced to read, means also then you won't be saying samadhi too much. You will have to just go on. Okay, so this is, I don't know, this is like a all to suit many situations of the modern person's progress, which is blocking them towards the goal. So there are times where you can contemplate a little bit. That is also a chance. In case you have that potential, you might even attempt something. But we must not, we have to make sure that is done generally. But anyway, when end of the retreat, if you have complete reading, kept yourself alone, definitely you'll be taking something. If you go through the yogis MRI scan, they will see definitely. If I go and ask my Indian, maybe those my colleague or friends, how was my retreat? they might say, yeah, this thing has rose to maybe 80%. What he told me. Okay. So I told about consciousness, and there are, like we have what we call ourselves, we have a body and consciousness. Okay. In the programs I already explained. So how do you know? You have the flesh body, say you're unconscious, and slowly when you become conscious, you know when you start to feel. And when soon what you feel, you perceive. And what you perceive, the way you perceive, you react. If it's perceived as unpleasant, you react with, if it's perceived as pleasant, you react with greed. If it's perceived as unpleasant, it's perceived as reacted with aversion. If it is perceived as neutral, if you just wait, maybe in meditation like, just peacefully, then delusion is increased. Delusion is there. Okay? So this is always happening in us. That reaction is called sankhara. Okay, mental formations. Alright? Just to have a mental idea about the mental formations. Okay? This is why you don't take it concretely. Because this is just to have an idea, what is this skandha? What is this panchupada skandha? 5 aggregates. So you must have some idea now what it is. So the sankhara there, the paticca samuppada, the condition links also. Ignorance is the cause for sankhara. That sankhara is the karma, that now reacting part. So whenever you are reacting, you are nourishing the paticca samuppada, condition cycle. Okay? So whenever you are, like if you are thinking only, it becomes mind karma. When you are talking like that, it will become word karma. And when you are acting, it will become body karma. So with intentions, how you do, is going to create your future. Alright? So that's why we are trying to make our intentions pure and clean. No point things being hard right now. I might tell some good Dhamma point, but underlying I have some irritation, anger, jealousy or something. It's going to be all wrong. So this is all, that's why even my teacher used to tell me, when you're going to a program, or those days, there was one program when he was alive, when I met him, then before going he said, just have a heart of compassion and go and just think how I can help or bless them. With this compassion, go. Don't plan, I'm going to say like this, like that, and so on. That pure intention is more important. Any activity. Because then you're safe, your actions are all right then. There's no rightness in this. Or even eating the food is not how nice, you don't drop it, or that's not right in the Buddhist teaching. If you don't taste the food, don't is right. If you're skillful enough not to have greed when you're taking the food, then you have done the Buddha's way. Okay? So you have the dead body. Okay, like so you have unconscious body, it's just flesh body. When consciousness arises, these are the factors that arise. Okay? So when you have, each organ has different consciousness arising. In the Contra Buddha, you don't get a sound wave and striking your eyes and you get something. No, it has to strike the ear. Alright, specifically. A form, a sight, you can't see from the ears. Okay? You cannot hear from the eyes. They have their own domain. So say for example you have ear and the object, slow motion. I've told this before also. This is the material part. Alright? Did you understand my English? Yes. What about my friends, my previous life relations from China? You understand, no? Okay. So you have these two material things. With this, there's the initial. Now we are making it very slow motion, like initial sort of something happened. It's like the attention we put, that initial attention, that is a mental, that is a part of consciousness. Okay, that attention, that initially when that happens, the connection happening, there's feeling. Okay, this feeling is the feeling aggregate, and immediately when you feel, there's that measuring of the feeling as pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral. The measuring aspect is called perception. Okay, when it is perceived as pleasant, then there's that reaction aspect coming as with greed, and unpleasant you perceive it, then with aversion, and other one is delusion. So this is, if you react with thought, then it's mind karma. If you talk like that, it's word karma. So this is some idea you have. For this only we think is ours, this I. Alright? So very difficult for especially those feelings, perceptions, we think very much this is me. Alright? The body we can little bit feel or think, okay, a little bit, mine or could not be mine. Because we see people getting old and very, the very tangible changes are seen in the body. Other one is so fast changing, it looks a one stream. Unless with wisdom now when we try to see, for example now, we have felt now, without feeling also, you don't get the sense of I. That's very important. With feeling only, you get the idea I. Look at this, for example. Now if you sit like this for a long time, if your leg gets numb, alright, and there's no flow, and then you don't see your leg also, and you don't feel the leg. Sometimes you might think whether my leg is there. Okay? So if the feeling is not at all, if you don't see now anesthesia and all that, they do. If they cut a piece and go, do you think they're taking some piece of me? You have no idea it's my leg at all. Okay? With the feeling you get that immediately when the feeling comes, with all feelings only we get, when we don't observe the feeling or look at the feeling with wisdom, we already get the idea of I. Alright? When we see the changing nature of the feeling, or we have had the wisdom of seeing that it is changing, suffering and moving, then it's already know me. You are not there, you are not actually enjoying the feeling or getting angry with the feeling, you are observing with wisdom. Alright? So this is what we are now trying to do, but we must know these ideas, how the idea of I comes. It's an idea. There's no real I here. Now sometimes I know some old gentleman I met. He told one day, when my wife died, I couldn't believe she died, And I want to go to the mortuary and look at her body. Really, I want to see, not the body, I want to look at her, whether she is really dead. And he went inside, and when they cut for embalming, they took off when he saw this, he like a rubber, everything was taken out and so on. So was it? He was so shocked. All these years that I thought this, that's why I say now even also with the Dhamma, you must not see us from your eyes now. You must slowly see from your wisdom always, everything. You must hear from your wisdom. You must taste from your wisdom. Then you will not be surprised, or you have gone beyond this real world, this unreal world. Okay? So this is very important. Then he told me after I saw this Bhante, I thought next birth I'm never going to get married. Because what is this? What did I do? What is all this? Alright, so this is very. So I'm not telling you to wait until next birth. While here you develop that realization. Now when I was 18, I started to look at things quite differently. Okay, I was at home. I was with my parents, my brother. But things changed. I stopped even like petting my brother, everything like that. It happened. But before that, I used to squeeze his stomach, and I was very, very. My father thought I was very romantic, because I was very active, and suddenly it all changed. I became another person, I would say. So, but I stayed there. I had karma there. So I used to be in a room and just come for dinner like that. It happened. My mother used to come. She understood me very well. This is the old monk or guru or whatever. She was my first disciple, I tell all the time. And then she got this, she was thirsty for this knowledge. Already I had more knowledge that time initially, when it came very powerfully, especially this analyzing vipassana, really going more into it. Now I'm at old age, it's coming back again. So, but this is the real thing actually, this is the real thing. So, you have to learn to separate like that and then do your duty. Initially, I was a little bit, I couldn't, not that I couldn't, maybe people would have felt a little uncomfortable around me. But later I knew how to deal with it now with my father and all that. I did not say when he's very sick and really the thing, I didn't tell him you have to now practice anicca. I used to bring him chocolate cake, tell my kapakaro, just to know it. And then like that to see what is really capable for him. I couldn't give him this much. I sit down and little bit I gave sometimes. Not another life maybe, but what he can take and digest, I was able to give because of that detachment. Okay? If you really want to help your relations and you have to remove that mask of illusion of being related. Okay, then you can be a true selfless, you can serve them. Otherwise you're serving you, your selfish motive. You understand? So this is very important. So this is really good to have good mental health also. Not just to become a monk or ordain or whatever, just to be a real proper human being, a selfless, evolved human being. And they will start to love you around you. You will not be a problem for them who is practicing. Because they will see how understanding and how, that will convert them to this. They have faith in what you're doing. Otherwise, they tell you meditating, you're getting angry. And they will see how they are personally, that you're not, because they are waiting to find a mistake in you. So then they can think, oh nice, he has failed it, and then I can relax. So this you have to slowly naturally get it, get into that teachings and practice. So this consciousness, I hope, is clear. And do you remember I told about, about how the last moment when you are dying, because now all what I'm explaining, what you're going to read, this is very related. Okay? So this is just giving you some ideas of how to think. Otherwise it's just reading only. You have to think the Dhamma. Okay? You must, when it's telling about consciousness, then you must know what is consciousness. These are the factors. Otherwise, what is this word mean? What is body? Body is the flesh body with the five. This you should know when you're walking, just to note it. And these are mainly. So Sankara, the reaction part like that, And the Paticcasamuppada, that's the reaction part. And so, do you remember that how I told about what my teacher explained about the consciousness needs an object to arise, and the last moment there's two things, last breath and last thought. How many of you are not familiar with that? I told in, I think, Saturday program, every program I explain. You're not familiar with that? Did you come? You came?
Yeah, I came on Sunday.
Yes. Did you remember that? It's a very deep thing, but at least in memory what I explained, some idea.
I cannot understand, but maybe you could go over again.
Okay.
That would be nice.
I'll be going over again, but I just want to... Anyone else who have not heard about that at all? From Malaysia, did you come for the program? You were there, right? And
yes.
You remember explaining this, right?
Yes.
The last breath, and the last moment, like I explained about a non-returner and all that. You know? Okay. All right. Anyone understood, or do you find it's not very clear? Who would find it not very clear? All understood. So
I didn't understand very well.
Were you there?
No, I was not there. I heard it online, but
okay.
It's not very clear.
So now others all understood, right? Can one of you explain? No problem. Just something what you understood. I think, shall I ask you, is it okay, or anyone else? Did you, okay. If you can explain something what you understood regarding that gentleman here. Yeah? Something, whatever you understood that.
Oh,
Well, only once maybe you heard that.
my idea about the last moments, last thoughts, that's
No, what you understood from what I said that time regarding, that I told you like,
yes, you mentioned about the last minutes, Anagami and Alahan. Yeah, so how they actually the last moment happened. How he actually the last moment that will take you to the next birth.
yes. And that consciousness is conditioned.
Right.
It needs these conditions. One is an object, organ, and the attention.
Yes.
So the attention comes, and the objects also come because there's karma.
Right. The karma rise.
Yeah.
So there's a nimitta.
That's the limit.
So you have to.
Yes, that grasping is there because you still have craving nature.
Yes.
And because you have karma also, you have the craving nature both together. That's why the grasping, though these conditions are there, then the conditions are there, so the consciousness will be there.
Right.
Right?
Thank you.
This picture you must have properly in your mind, in a simple way. So if you don't have craving and karma, the condition to be distracted or be this thing won't be there.
Right.
Okay, and a nimitta also will not come.
Right.
Okay, then how the consciousness cannot arise? This is very important to just have an idea. Okay, because consciousness depends on body, feeling, perception, and so on as a nimitta. You have to be there. Alright? So it is the craving, it's like a gum that binds the consciousness to body, feeling, perception, and manasikara reaction. Right? So if the gum is taken away by wisdom, alright, then it can't get a focus, it won't get focused to anything. There's no object to get focused to. Then its existence is a big finding by the Buddha, how to stop consciousness. If consciousness is stopped, no rebirth. No rebirth means no death. No, This is a very crucial one that is Buddha's contribution to the world. Okay, so this was I used to when my teacher explains this. He doesn't explain too much of this thing, but I used to like it. And when he's peaceful, he repeatedly explained to me. And later on, with a retreat like now you all are going to go, not 5 days, right? Anyway, we try some miracle. These things became very helpful for me. Alright, because you have to keep your thinking simple. Now we have also got too much loaded by, I would say, explaining even consciousness and through Abhidharma and all other ways. I don't think if you think too much, you will not get anywhere. If you don't think also, you don't get anywhere. So you just have to find that balance. Alright? So the balance is taken by the Buddha's instruction. Think the area, a level, what the Buddha tells you. It's enough. Don't even go to my explanations too much also. Just, I hope it will help even about now the sound and ear and then, these things also is a little bit, and also Anagami, I explained those things. These are also my explanations. But I hope if it's some guide, use it. Alright. But it will be some help. But make sure you go to the original. This thing, something will happen there properly. Okay. So this is clear. I hope I will explain to you again. So my my teacher is to make it very simple. He used to tell about a business person who is doing business, all right, and who is not doing wrong too much. Like he's doing some good deeds also, and not doing really breaking 5% a lot, or he's not breaking at all. Maybe once in a while, maybe, but he's doing business, for example. So what happens? He accumulates karma related to business. All right, his consciousness. So for him to write his next birth, he will get a womb or a parent or like they will have, who have the karma which support him to do business. Maybe who are having already some business. So this is how you must see that the related karma will take you. What type of karma you occupy will bring you to that for the consciousness to continue. All right. So I know another occasion where what is this? Not an unconscious, like in some rebirths happen where you're not getting an immediate clear rebirth. I would call it I call this sometimes the transit lounge. All right. So I also explain like this. I don't know whether it's nice to explain. Yeah, because I found, okay, now I remember my old teaching, how I taught. Like, for example, I was surprised myself, with my own observation. Some people, some elderly people I happen to meet, I know their parents, or I have heard about them. And then the very old people, they have done a lot of service to the sasana. For example, like built monasteries and did so many free month basa. And I have heard they have done so much service to the sasana. Of course, they have also taken, like, I heard four full moon, the 4 moon cycles, the precepts and all that. And then I find that when this person is very old, the son, they are coming to his experience. That then I was wondering, they're in a spirit world, or they're in a world where they are still connected to this body, their children. Then I was wondering why, what made him all these good deeds they have done. But I could understand from the Dhamma, they didn't do the practice of detaching them from the family and the surroundings. They didn't do the meditation enough, proper meditation, I would say. They did a lot of good karma, punya karma. But so then this was very this thing for me, because all these things we see that they have done a lot of things. So then only because I understand now, when you're at home, and you have 2 places mainly, home and working place. So if you don't do meditation enough, that's why I say early morning, do this, and then go to your working place. Be mindful with driving, everything, and don't feel tired, and like when you're doing, just be in the moment again and again and again. When you do like this, you're separating yourself, and you're performing the actions without that thing that makes you tired, that is getting attached and getting anger, irritated. Okay, not weakening your mind. So when they have not done like that, definitely they will be reacting and so on. They are making karma. So that is karma in the sensual world. So if it is only done for a long period, then this nimitta will come in the dying moment. So I don't know why, maybe they could have got a human birth, but it is also with anger or some, especially dying moments, sometimes it can be painful and anger comes. That's why they give morphine. Because to avoid that, but then you are in a more deluded, like a sleep-like state, and the consciousness is more problem in that than get anger. So then, unless someone is there to release that birth, some yogi or someone who knows about the next lives, this can be a problem for that ancestor or a being. So what happened? So I realized, even when I done 2 retreats, I can remember, they were too much involved with gods and so on. One of my very close, like second mother, I'm sure some of you all will definitely know, because they were involved in a lot of social work as well. But they didn't enough. I remember when I was they were taking part, they had a cancer, and she took part in all the retreats I had when I started. She was like actually my second mother, I would say. So I don't force even my father or anyone. When the time comes, I try to give everybody the way I see. I'm not interested to take this one quickly to Nibbana or that one, but I have a general love for everybody. So this lady also, she, when her time came, she took part. But I remember I was passing by their kuti. She was very close with my mom also, and my mom also was in the retreat. And I remember she used to come to my mom or want to be with my mom, or so I have told not to talk. But they can't wait without talking so much. They have not done this kind of meditation too much. So I heard some lady talking while I was passing that. So I was going to tell the organizers, just check what is going on, But later I realized this auntie. How can I tell her? So it happened like that. Anyway, I feel so sorry later. After 2-3 retreats also, she was really bad and she passed away. I was there. I was there, not at the moment of passing away, but I was visiting. But to the end, it was too painful or too, difficult. And I would think some anger, this thing came up. So that was not enough to, take her to the good deeds or whatever. I'm telling you, this is very important because I hope I have already warned you all and told you what level of practice you must get to before this death comes. You can't, I can't, this all, I have time to research and really the texts, the teachings are there and what I see in reality is there. Then we must see, what is, you can't just blindly think Buddha will look after everything. No. If Buddha will practice according to him and really master how, I'm sure then we can be safe. So I feel that, it was not enough for her with that anger or irritation or very sad or this thing, why is this pain is, she would have, but I'm sure not in a very low, but she can be, I'm sure, I'll be thinking about it because definitely it's my duty. But I'm telling you now, while we are living here, all these retreats, it's geared to passing a certain exam. That is the death moment. I have one sutta called parachute jump, which in the last day I will be telling you. It is related with the commandos, their last training. So this is related with my teacher gave me the last instructions from the suttas. So that I will be giving you all. But we are all doing this to appreciate that. But that's actually regarding last moment. How to deal, how to face. So that you already prepare now. And you know what to think, what to do. That's the retreat is training you to. Alright? So this is not me or who did this. It's my teacher, he's the one who guides so much of suttas, how it is done, systematically, practically, and take them, place them like this order. I think this is all his genius. And he didn't do it to teach others, he did it for his own life for so many years. 29 years he was a wandering monk. It was not just wandering. Yesterday also when I was going on the walking path, I was getting the spirit, letting go the body with the walking. It's a meditation, complete, whether it's 1,000 steps. I also went through a lot, but it was more with samadhi. Samadhi, otherwise, so samadhi mixed with, from time to time, this vipassana is to come. But it's all to take you out of this body, away from sankharas. This whole practice is. Okay, you can have the English and the Sinhalese if you. You'll be going for your dana and come back. I'll be here, and then I will continue whatever time I have to complete some of the things. Then evening you have some this thing, and before dark you can go to your and oh, I did explain. You want me to explain again, right? So, so this is very important. Now, if you had interactions too much in the sensual world, okay, in the office or in your family situation, you make karma mostly. That will come as a nimitta at the moment of death. Okay, so that will become an object for consciousness to arise. Remember, this consciousness is a condition. So if you give the condition, it will arise. Okay, this simple thing. So now if you, it is now two places, okay. So have you heard about, I told about Anagami? He has no sensual desires whatsoever. Okay, no attachment, no karma accumulated. That's why he's called Anagami. He doesn't return here to the sensual world, but he goes to another plane, of course. So when he dies, now when we die, two things happen. The last thought comes and the last breath goes, the physical function. So when these two happen, normally in a normal person who have interacted with family and so on, he will have karma, and because of that he will get a last object. Do you think we can do two things? Either we can look at the breath until the last moment, or we can be distracted to a last thought. What do you think such a person will be able to keep to the breath, or will he be distracted? He'll be definitely distracted, or he might have some chance to look at the breath.
No, definitely.
Very good, very good. Very good. Because he has two things, karma and craving nature. Okay? That does not be negative. Oh, good, good. At least now you must think, you can't be dull like this. This is what has happened to our meditation. We like to be, we call it peace and all that. This won't do. Who have divine eye, they already see that this is happening in other traditions, no problem. They might want to go to Brahmaloka or somewhere. But we have now come, okay, on the way we can go to a Brahmaloka, but we must master this. We must now, what is this? Exercise our analyzing, contemplating, thinking faculty. Okay? So, and pure mind. These two. Then you will be not missing something. Alright? Something very important. So, at least the Dhamma thinking you must really exercise. So definitely he will be discharged. So Anagami, he has no sensual desire, attachments whatsoever, no karma also in it, and no craving towards it. Okay, for food or sex or whatever, sleep, or he's under control. So say now he's but attached to something, right? What is he attached to? Sorry?
Right.
No. Okay, you can get attached to breath also, but he's attached to what type of feeling? He's not attached to sensual feelings, but is he attached to any other type of feeling?
Yeah, nimitta. Nagara.
Okay, nimitta brings a feeling, right? So what is the feeling? We have three feelings we can experience in this existence: present, unpleasant, and neutral.
Neutral.
Okay, yeah, neutral feeling. All right. So where there's feeling, is there consciousness or not? What?
Yes.
Where? It's a factor. Feeling is a factor of consciousness. Okay. So wherever you feel, that's how to know you have what? Consciousness. All right. If you don't feel, you're unconscious. All right. So the subtlest type of feeling you can get is equanimity or neutral or peaceful feeling. All right. So this is where yogis or someone without the guidance of Buddha can, they also practice to escape from feelings, sensual feelings, but they didn't realize it was another feeling and it's a conditioned experience. All right. It's a mentally conditioned experience. So now, when you have attached to that, there's attachment coming to that, craving coming to that. Not greed, it's craving. Okay, there are two different things of greed and craving. So for Vedana Paccha Tanha, in the Paticcasamuppada. So there you might, then when you have that feeling, so that when the Anagami, when he's dying, the last breath is going, he still has craving for those feelings. So the feeling will come up that time as a nimitta, because and then he will be distracted or not, he'll be distracted. So then you'll be experiencing the feeling and the consciousness will arise. So he dies in the Brahmaloka. Alright? So now you imagine it's you who is becoming an Arahant. You have no craving whatsoever now, even to that neutral feeling, peaceful feeling. Okay, your mind may be full of wisdom about the impermanence, suffering, and no self. So if you are full of that and no craving for any five sense objects also, and anything internally peacefulness also, just imagine, can you keep your attention to the last breath? Can you watch it? And if you keep watching and you can keep hold of the last breath, the breath also you are not attached to, you're just taking it as a, then will there be conditions for consciousness to arise?
Yes.
Sorry?
No.
It's not a multiple choice.
They're very skillful. And there's no
The future of the
consciousness, right?
consciousness. Right?
But this is very deep.
Yes.
But at least this much you must, this explanation, at least you must have understanding. You must leave it like that. But what you're going to read and now, but because you're reading mostly the Arahants, the suttas that made beings Arahant. Okay? So that will make very much sense. Alright? So this, just some idea you must keep that. Okay? One day maybe this retreat, or one day in your life, it might become in a retreat or somewhere, this very big connection. It's the deepest thing you can ever know in this whole universe. Alright? So I think don't complicate, like in the modern time, even I told some people to read from what's his name? Deepak Chopra and all that. Okay, he's very close to explaining the factors of consciousness and all that. That's why people who are still coming from this background, because consciousness is already found by Buddha, it's nothing he's experimenting and explaining. It's coming using the body as a base and it arising immediately dependent. So we are making it, we are trying to put like a elephant in a small box, and the problem is we should not value so much science. Science is so much kindergarten in that way. Unfortunately, our values have grown, and if everything is scientific only, we feel very. But we must become more wiser. We must be searching for truth. And I was like that. Some parts of science I was interested because I tried to connect. But consciousness is well understood. The factors are told by Buddha. Who explains like that? There are factors, Vedana, Sanya, Sankara, and how it's related to the karmic cycle and the rebirth is explained. So to support that only I tell about Edgar Cayce, many mentions, read those things. So they give you some, like from the modern times, supportive information that can, give you, you might have some faith to start and to really depend on that. So, so this is very important. This you must keep it in mind. All right. Almost every program I'm explaining this. This is like I'm only pushing everybody to enlightenment. Nothing else. Even if they hear it 10 times, then they get familiar with this thinking, simple thinking. And if they touch the original teachings, it will become very meaningful. Because it will become very meaningful. If it becomes very meaningful, means you're coming closer to truth. You're coming closer to seeing that means you understand what Buddha is speaking. And understanding Buddha, what he's speaking means, then you're on the way out of this, out of this suffering. Because Deepak Chopra nicely explained the limitation of science. He himself is a scientist now. So it's very good, because we have to be really convinced that way. I'm not telling you all to blindly, even when I'm telling also like that, no, you just see how he will tell, what is the limitation. He argues a lot. Have you seen in your fees? It's very good. And he also tells some operation of consciousness, karmically, how, like if you see faults of others outside, how they are the inner mistakes, our nature we have, how it's coming out. These are good. Then he has some knowledge of the mechanism of how it's karmically as well as our latent tendencies working and manifesting in other people who we are associating. That's very nice relationship. So, and when we are conscious like that, how it's going to get reduced and dismantled. It's like in a dungeon, our defilements nicely like demons, they thrive. But in the darkness. So when awareness and attention comes, you're like putting a flashlight into the dungeon. Then in darkness, those demons can't exist. So same way, the demons within us won't exist when we acknowledge them and can notice our own this thing. So this is the power of awareness and paying attention, how it can dismantle your impurities. Rather than, so this is very good, this is very important. These are very helpful. I have told in other programs also a little bit about this, so that people can, otherwise you are not even started the journey of observing yourself. You are seeing mistakes as if it's happening outside. That's a big mistake. you're a long way from really, going on the path. Because so petty and, thinking, oh, he's wrong, that's wrong. You're not watching yourself, what is going on, why am I experiencing like this. You're not questioning like that. You get this point. I hope, because now we are starting on this spiritual journey. Are you all getting the back? Do you understand now, just now what I said also? Because now in solitude, you might have three things I told you. One is your mind might be directed to food a lot, then other times, and sleep. And the other one is daydreaming or mentally pondering, because you have such a vacuum around you. All right, so it can happen. Any question there? Yeah. Just in front of me, yes. Though you're far away, it's the wrong place you're sitting, because in front means you must hide some more this way. No? Okay. I don't know, these backseaters, why maybe there's not space here, right? Because I remember I was a backseater at school, but we were the naughty group, We want to do our thing. This was all while I was in Sri Lanka. When I went out, all things changed. But for the good.
Bhante, how do you combat the sleepiness you get from solitude?
Doing the peaceful meditation will increase the sleepiness more. So when you are sleepy, don't try to do metta bhavana or relaxing or try to sit down. And that's not the time. The best thing is, one thing you can try is get some inspiring, like Buddha's qualities or some arahants or some bodhisattva or whatever, or some music that in a positive way, something that triggered gave you strong emotion. Oh, I have some things when I come, they're putting, okay, it's a little bit of faith and Buddha qualities and feeling. That you can try also, a little chanting. Other one is analyzing, reading. This will also break the sleep.
So when I was reading Bhante, the thought goes into the Dhamma, and then after a little while I get sleepy.
Yeah, it could increase, don't worry. But if you know that you have given the reasonable amount of sleep during night or whatever, this is this is unreasonable sleep coming now. So there you have to make a little fight, do the walking a little bit, and see. This is how you are a warrior now on this. This is like a battlefield. I tell you honestly, the devil is waiting. The unseen spirits are waiting. His hordes to this thing. And the other side, the angels are waiting, the devatas are waiting, and the Buddha's power is this thing. So there's a fight, fasting, everything you are doing. Your soul, it's an astral plane, it's an entire fight going on. The very fact that you came to the battlefield is quite a, victory. Physically. Some even from far away, they are frightened, they are not put away. So it's their karma this time, and many factors are working. So don't worry, be here. If everything fails, just sleep. Better than talking, I'm telling you, okay? Talking with anyone, better than that. Buddha says also actually, in solitude, even if you sleep. I'm not telling you to sleep, but yes. There are people who have come in Australia. Actually, the mother was very concerned. The son was having a very peculiar problem. He was out of all his normal routine, and he was really depressed on high drugs and everything. So he can't follow routine. I just told the mother, doesn't matter, let him be in the kuti. He doesn't need to come to the hall or whatever. He has fear also. He has so many, there are no medicine for his problems. Like he can't be in crowds and all that. So this is some new medicine has been found like that, and they're trying it out and like that. So anyway, I told him, let him get the food properly. He's on high drugs, and let him just be there in that area. So now, but when I'm telling like this, it's going to be a big advertisement, It's recorded, right? Okay? Yeah, this is the truth what is happening. People want, this maybe the one chance is going on. If people want to really, they have gone to universities, they have done this, that. This is the, I would say, Buddha's special place of a chance in their lifetime. The people might have to feel it within their soul. They want to be really saved from this kleshas, defilements, and get peace and fearlessness in their life. No other teacher, I don't think, will help them in that way. So anyway, this gentleman, this young boy, 21, 22, very handsome person, he thinks he's ugly also because he's a little fat and so many mental disturbances. So what happened when he came to me, I said, no, you rest, you sleep, you don't have to come at all. And you can, little bit if you want to read, you can read, but daytime he's sleeping. Like that he went on for a few days. And something was happening to him. Finally, one day he came to the hall when I was, and then he was also asking questions and so on. And somebody told me, because now he's newfound freedom. Later when he met, he said, Bhante, in this condition I feel okay. Everything is now okay. I'm worried when I go back. I said, don't worry. Now you have already experienced this is possible. That you can come out of all these things. So yeah, so many like this. Also that lady, one Bhikkhuni, she was an Australian, so keen, she somehow came, and she had migraine, severe migraine, and normally she has migraine, but when she's coming for the retreat, it became more and more. So I tell normally, your underlying karmas will come up more now, because it's an operation, karmic operation. So she came like that, but she couldn't stay in light she sees, and she was in the kuti, I said, let her be, okay. And I went to visit her also, 2-3 days, she didn't come. And even there, she couldn't, when the doors opened, she had to look at the dark. And I entered the kuti, and she was so determined there, she was slowly doing the reading. And she waited for the 5 days. And later in the flight in Sri Lanka somewhere, I got a picture from to my attendant. She has given, this old lady, she's looking after her mother actually. She's very old and now she's attending to her. The mother is reading, that big book. And she's giving this knowledge to her also. And of course, they are not too much belief in Buddhism, but she was being able to give some Dhamma. Yeah, there are so many stories like that. So anyway, page number 10, we went through that, right? I think Yasas Mahatma told me the noon time is around
12:50.
Yes, if anybody is doing any precepts, is
Have
anyone
to
taking
eat,
8 precepts?
No, me.
you all must
Not
have.
yet, but I want to.
Oh, okay. So no one, right?
I thought we're all taking.
You. Okay, there's.
No?
Yeah.
You must take, but I think according to him, he told me about 12:55.
Right. About 12:50.
So you can take it even 1 o'clock even. But do you have a way of knowing, like noon in this part of the world?
Our phone have no data. We cannot check. Sorry.
That's good. You should not keep your phone near you also. Okay, I have normally told people to take the phones, but here they don't. But at least it's not operating, right? There's no smart ways that you can.
No, we just look at the time. That's it.
The Mara will enter somewhere, definitely. You get some information, suddenly someone is sick or some problem.
They have I have little questions. I'm not sure it's good for recording. But last time,
It's okay, you can delete, no, it's going live.
No, not live.
Okay.
And we also can edit some.
oh, okay.
Just
All right.
pause it.
Pause.
The good points not coming in. Okay, so yeah, you described that how you actually the last feelings you feel you cannot breathe. So it's like that moment. So you have thoughts coming up. You're thinking that I haven't had a chance to share the Dhamma to others, and for that kind of thoughts, right? Somehow you are starting to getting better. You are able to breathe. So you made it to the morning until the helicopter is coming to pick you up to Kathmandu. And on the way back to the Kathmandu, you saved. But you mentioned that time the Malak came.
Behind, yeah. And almost my robes were like removed.
Right, so you said, you almost want to tell that stories, but you say, maybe now is not the time, so next time maybe you're going to tell these stories. So I think maybe now is a good time. Maybe you can share what's the Malakam and why it happens.
That is a dark side of my life. I would say a dark side. That's the closest I could tell now.
Oh, okay.
A very dark side I had to face. I wish I want to be honest and really open about all my life, because regarding even my conviction about the path is also true. Mm-hmm. My faults also I want to really be honest about it. But I am warned, because I'm already having problems going on this path. There are people, maybe you might take it in the right way, but there'll be others who can make it so much damaging.
I see.
So maybe one day before I pass away, or when, even if maybe I think maybe if I become an Arahant, maybe I might tell, I don't know, but this is not the time yet.
Sure, Monday. Totally respect that.
But the thing is like until morning, actually we waited for that local doctor to come. Mm-hmm. He came late, and the helicopters here, they have gone. So we had to wait for next day. So then only we decided to go by road down, descent, rather than wait. Oh. So this is what happened really. So then we slowly going down slowly. That's better than staying there. And then in that guest house in the Saga, that is the next point, I was feeling, like suddenly, like a stroke coming. And
right.
Then I had to go and knock at the the driver and the guide. They come up and they check on me, like that it went on. So I was even going down slowly. Then we came to, finally Kathmandu was okay. Then physically I was recovering.
Right.
Then I realized I need bed rest and so on. But something, after that, something's happened. So then how I made up my mind, I told, not to egolize this, right?
Right.
To think like that. So if I gave up and just be very disappointed or upset or whatever, so many good things that was about to happen would have been missed. Like this good thing of able to share it. But I will take this close. It's not to the extent that I have to break the the rules, but something closer to. But I treasure the rules in so many forms, like even the spirit of the rules, not only just the letter. So something to the level of you could say, the spirit. So this was disturbing me. So I would say the Mara would find where you attach to, to hit that.
Right.
So then it disturbs you.
Right.
And that's so luckily it brought the wisdom part that I realized, don't utilize this. But this time for thing, if it happened when I was a young monk or much earlier, maybe it would have been. So I have already had some experience of practicing and what the counter things that might happen. So that gave me very much to face it in a better way, in a way that I would survive. I hope this will give you an idea. If you were to continue practicing now, once I told one practitioner, one master, that continuously I'm getting these obstacles while I'm practicing. So he told me, if you're a practitioner, did you find the time?
Yes, 12:57.
Now you can go for. I will continue after. Okay.
All right.
All right. So try to go, on a line, or you can maybe the females first or males first. I don't know how you would like to go. But go in a line. Don't talk with anybody. Think like you're a yogi going from the thing to your meals. All right. Try to pay attention while you're walking. Just not walking. Now here you have to try to frame this. Okay. Watch your steps. Feel it immediately. See what is there. Mind might go now. Dana. Now you have to go to improve. Try to train that attention. Paying attention to the present mode. When you're getting up, try to. You might forget. Now remind again. And then if you're taking the steps, you try to remind now that each step is going, And so do this and go in a line. And when you sit down in that place and take, okay. After you sit down, Pratyariksha, that in the path, there's a gatha you have to tell.
We don't see that.
Okay. So you contemplate, this is only the 5 elements. The food is also 5 elements. Can all hear 5 elements, okay? And that there's no person here. It's just so you can try to contemplate those things, all right? If you vomit out how it is like, the Arahants, the great masters, they practice this to control the tasting of the food, and it will affect my afternoon meditation. Think about it. Even little bit you can practice, that's good enough. Don't worry if you taste, doesn't worry. But when you try to also, don't open your mouth until the food comes to your mouth. Try that. Okay? Don't say like this, okay? You can open, alright? And then push it from, if your fingers, I don't know if you're using the fork, alright? But properly eat, alright? Don't try to eat, eat properly. Don't try to curb those things, but try to not to taste. This is what you must master here, not fasting. Fasting you're desiring, not the fasting of the object. Alright? You have to train here to develop that faculty of try a little bit, and then after that you want to go to toilet or something and then come back here. Right? All blessing to you all strength to you all. I hope these things will awaken in you. The strength will come to you all. I hope everywhere they get some inspiration to practice for their true well-being, to purify their mind in this samsaric journey, that the Buddha will be beside them all times until they reach final liberation. His teachings will guide them without any obstacle, and fearlessness will be there. So that the great master, give all blessings and safety to all living beings. Lokanatha, the world only refuge is holy feet. Your blessing. Don't get delayed now. Okay, slowly go, get up, try to pay attention. When you're walking, also try to pay attention. Time to time you can wish for everybody in this hall and all over the world. May they also be happy and peaceful. While you're walking, also you can think a little bit like that. Okay, and try it. Got the bears and everybody too. More food from here. Now you can keep silence, that's very important. I'll be here. Maybe I'll come in 12:15 or 12:30 I'll come. 1:30. Do you have a bowl or there's a plate there, no?
You post this like
Therapy,
slim.
right?
So much done.
Okay, for tippani or it get protein na karti na
Again.
protein maybe okay.